We continue with Season 7 of DS9 when Kira and Odo are officially a couple, so him giving her a massage is a sensual way to... Yeah! Well, that's like anti-sexy. We'll skip ahead to the exposition. Odo's got a signal from a Cardassian informant that he's known for a long time. Might even be the guy from Improbable Cause. We never found out anything about him. Well, the guy was supposed to have been executed, but the message says, "No, I'm alive and I want to meet you, and this is totally not a trap for really reals. Please come alone." In the B-plot, the Chief's up to his tits in repair problems, with Quark yelling in one ear and Sisko mumbling unpleasant things in the other, while there are more guts hanging out of the station walls than a Romero movie. But the real concern for Sisko is his child. No, not Jake, the other one, the one he's proud of, the Defiant. The gravity net's malfunctioning, which is a distraction you don't need in the middle of a battle.
The last time I stepped onto the bridge, I felt 10 kilos heavier.
Maybe it's Cassidy's cooking. Just fix it. The problem is the quartermaster says it'll take 3 weeks to get the part they need. And what else is the Chief supposed to do? How to just conjure it out of thin air? A magical device that just makes things appear. Now, I do actually appreciate the replicators not being able to make anything. Some things would be too complicated or require exotic materials or something instead of just being perfect duplicates. I'm from the camp that does not believe the replicators make things from pure energy because, frankly, that's like deciding it's more efficient to fire the janitorial staff and then just demolish an office building every day and have it rebuilt overnight. Anyway, Nog's there and can't help but note that this does not seem possible, and the Chief agrees grimly, just kind of resigned to the fact that in 3 days when Sisko's back and wants the Defiant working, he's going to insert a case of self-sealing stem bolts up his ass one by one. So Nog advises him on the way people are. They're more helpful to people that they know, so get to know the quartermaster. Let him know what a nice guy you are, Chief. But O'Brien tells Nog to go fuck himself instead. But Nog will not be deterred. He's the first Ferengi in Starfleet, after all, an organization which goes so far as to warn its cadets about his people. So Nog is going to marry the best of his people's ideas with Starfleet ideals, use Ferengi business ideas to help further their cause. People may seek to better themselves and all that, but ultimately, we're not robots. We will still have things that we need or want. So use that. Nearly 10 years ago, a Canadian blogger managed to use this technique to trade a red paperclip for something, and that wound up with him getting a house. Nog could probably pull off something just like that to get to the part for the Defiant, so the Chief reluctantly agrees to let Nog work on getting it. Worst comes to worst, he'll fail and the Chief will just have to wait grimly for those stem bolts. Back in the A-plot, Odo arrives at the meeting place, and shockingly, his friend is not there. But what is actually surprising is who is, Weyoun. Surprising because he'd hardly show up for such a trap. There's a chance that things could get messy, but it's not a trap, it's a meeting. He's planning to defect. After giving us the titles to mull that over, Odo demands to know why, so Weyoun says that he's in danger. And obviously being murdered is a big concern for somebody who's been killed 4 times already. Odo is skeptical, but Weyoun starts volunteering strategic Dominion information, so he agrees to bring him back. I'm sure it's going to be a pleasant trip, probably as much fun as that one with Garrick. He seems happy with the idea already.
Sit here, or I can keep an eye on you.
See, there is clear warmth in his sneers. Well, Weyoun assures him that he would never harm a god, not even Sheila, the goddess of submissives, even if she asked him to. But Odo denies godhood. He's a security officer. And I suppose in his mind, being a god would be a step down from that. God may know when the tiniest sparrow falls, but Odo will be on hand to arrest the murderer. Meanwhile, Nog's got a line on the stabilizer, but to trade for it, he's going to need the Chief's authorization. The Chief can authorize every single thing that Nog does and slow the whole process down so that the plan will fail in its stem bolt time. Or he can just give Nog his authorization code and be done with it. And he does the latter, and then sends his account information to that Nigerian prince who wrote him this morning. Poor guy. Back on the Rio Grande, Odo's getting annoyed already.
It's just such an honor to be sitting here with a security officer.
Doesn't matter what you say, you're still going to get a cavity search. They're interrupted by a transmission, and it's Weyoun?
Now you've got it in stereo, baby.
You might recall that the Vorta are clones. That's why Weyoun has died so much. That, and there's only so long you can put up with Weyoun without wanting to kill him. So the Weyoun we saw during the Dominion War arc, that actually perished. He hadn't died 4 times, he died 5 times, and now Weyoun 6 has taken his place. That's the one on the Rio Grande. Weyoun 7 was activated when the first one amscrayed, and now he wants Weyoun 6 to do the honorable thing and kill himself. Well, 6 isn't all that honorable. He lied to a security officer, after all. So Damar threatens to blow up the runabout if Odo doesn't turn him over. Dramatic end transmission. Weyoun 6 explains that when he was activated, he believed that the war was wrong and the Founders, divine though they are in his eyes, are misguided in fighting it. Weyoun 7 obviously disagrees as he grumbles to Damar over this shameful behavior, although this wouldn't have happened if the previous Weyoun hadn't met with a freak transporter accident, an accident that Damar narrowly missed because he was called away. Apparently, there was a full bottle of booze somewhere on Cardassia Prime, and only Damar could be sent in to solve that crisis. But to the present issue, if Odo won't turn over Weyoun 6, then Damar says kill them both. And while Weyoun 7 naturally objects, he knows that the war will end in defeat if they don't. I'll be talking about Weyoun in the accompanying video, so I'll just say for now that Weyoun 7 eventually comes around to Damar's way of thinking and orders the Jem'Hadar to destroy the Rio Grande. Just don't let them know who's on board, otherwise it's the wrath of the gods. Or even worse, the wrath of Kira, as O'Brien discovers. Sisko's desk is gone, and apparently he was the one who authorized it. Well, little things like shipping off your boss's office furniture can slip the mind. So the chief confronts Nog over it, who explains that it wasn't traded, it was just loaned. Loaned to a guy who wanted to take a picture of himself sitting behind it. Because even in the Trek universe, there are still Trekkies.
That's the rumor. Rumor? Well, you've made all these deals based on a rumor from a very reliable source. Well, what if it turns out not to be true? You have to have faith, Chief. In a rumor?
The title actually refers to both plots, Treachery being Damar's against Weyoun, and Nog's perceived treachery in swiping anything that isn't nailed down, although bolted is another story. Faith in the Founders and faith in the Great Material Continuum that Nog is about to explain, and the Great River, which describes how the Great Material Continuum works. Oh, and the runabout is the Rio Grande, Great River. Anyway, the other Great River is the flow around space of things from where they are to where they are needed. And I like that analogy. In fact, I have to admit that whenever I hear the title to this episode, it's the Nog plot that comes to mind. But we really should get back to Odo and Weyoun. I am not a number, I'm a person. Weyoun has a nightmare, and Odo seems to have gotten over the fact that he despises Weyoun because, well, he has that kind of face. But Weyoun is doing the same thing he himself is, abandoning the Dominion for principles. And also, presumably, dying in space when the Jem'Hadar blow them up, since they're firing at them now. But Weyoun knows the design flaws of the ship and blows them up. But we all know that you're only allowed to use some jank move once, and then after that you just have to come up with some other idea. There's only one thing more frightening than staring down Jem'Hadar warships, though, in the glorified minivan especially, and that's...
Where are my cases of blood wine?
A sober Klingon who has just been robbed. Back on Cardassia Prime, Damar and Weyoun scramble to get more ships after Odo while the female changeling shows up, knowing that she wouldn't approve killing Odo to clean up Weyoun's mess. Plus the Founder is starting to transform into Manuel Noriega for some reason. She blames it on the heat as a lame attempt to cover it, and on the whole, this basically has become Patton meets The Hangover. Odo learns the truth from Weyoun 6. There's a sickness spreading through the link, and the Founders are dying. That's why Weyoun is here. After they die out, Odo will be the last of his people, so he can take over the Dominion and turn it from an aggressive empire into a peaceful nation. Well, peaceful police state, anyway. Alas, before peace can come, there's the whole not getting blown up by warships thing, so Odo hides amongst comet fragments in the hopes that the 4 warships will give up and leave. I'm not betting on it. Back on the station, O'Brien's trying to deal with the mystery of the disappearing desk.
It's the wrong shape. It's the wrong height. The wrong width. Other than that, it's perfect. Captain will never suspect you switched desks on it.
To make a bad situation Klingon, Martok shows up about the missing blood wine, and you know he'll stick those stem bolts up sideways. Back in the comet field, the Jem'Hadar have decided to take their search in a new direction. Just blow up all the fragments. Now, think about that dedication. While sensors might pick up the runabout's destruction, there's no way to be sure unless they blow up every single one. And so they will. They're basically being hunted by obsessive compulsives. In the face of that, Weyoun 6 chooses activating his suicide implant rather than continuing to risk Odo's life. So Weyoun 7 calls off the attack. As he lies dying, Weyoun 6 asks for Odo's blessing. Real blessing, not the time he faked a sneeze to get it. And Odo finally gives in, as uncomfortable as it makes him to act in such a manner. But if there's one person who needs a miracle right now, it's the Chief, who must face Sisko and say, I didn't get the job done, but on the bright side, I lost your desk. But Nog has finally come through, with the desk, the stabilizer, and even better wine for Martok than what was stolen, so the Chief will get to avoid the stem bolts after all, and happy ending.
But I know now, whichever side wins, one thing is certain. I'm going to lose.
Post-episode follow-up, annoying character goes to the female changeling. She was more hoity-toity than usual this week. Final score for Treachery, Faith, and the Great River is 8 out of 10. A very strong outing that managed to combine the solemn and serious Odo plot with the silly O'Brien plot and make it work. I'll be looking at the Weyoun stuff in the accompanying video, but the effect on Odo was also noteworthy. His interaction with Kira when she explained that for Weyoun, his death was wonderful because of Odo's blessing, is the discomforting reminder of just how deep the changelings' need to be gods runs through their creations. But it's still a double-edged sword, because with the story Weyoun tells of his people uplifting Odo, he can see that there is good in them as well. And the same with the war. His people are dying, but they're the aggressor in a very bloody war, so as Odo had said, whoever wins, he'll lose. It's an excellent piece all around.
Aren't you being a little paranoid?
Of course I'm paranoid. Everyone's trying to kill me.